was this like seemingly straight man, like, sitting on a stoop or something. And I kind of like looked at him and he was like, what you looking at? So I felt like, oh, this guy is upset. After seconds, this man was disarmed and he was like, so what's up? Where are we going?
Oh, wow. Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast, where we help you find your circle
and your man.
I'm Jarrod D King, and I am so excited to be back. We have Renee. She's returning with us, and we have a couple of great guests as well. We have Jennifer Love Williams, and we have Alejandro.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, sir? So why don't we do quick intros of our guests before we begin? And why don't you give us a little rundown? Who are you? How did we come across each other?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Love Williams. I'm an entertainer and an activist. I actually discovered Jarrod from TikTok, actually. Then I started following him to Instagram, and then we happened to meet in person. And so when he asked me to come on, it was a no-brainer.
I mean, I know you said you're like activist, and so like, could you tell me a little bit more about that?
Okay, I'm the founder of the Gen Love Project. The Gen Love Project provides re-entry packages to LGBTQ plus people coming home from prisons and jails across the East Coast. Hopefully I get to expand across the country.
Okay.
But in the meantime, just the East Coast. I'm also co-chair to the formerly incarcerated subgroup to the National LGBTQ and HIV Criminal Justice Working Group. I am an organizer with Black and Pink NYC. I am the head of the advisory board for Black and Pink Massachusetts, separate entity. And I do some organizing work with the National Council for Incarcerated and Formerly Incarcerated Women and Girls.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I love it.
You are making my monthly Planned Parenthood donations look like trash right now. That is amazing.
Look, I mean, you're doing good too. You're doing good too. Alejandro, so we met a couple weeks ago, actually.
We did.
And we kind of hit it off, I feel like, and then
fun.
I had you over for Friendsgiving last week.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? Let the people know.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alejandro. I've been in Philly about 12 years now, originally from Miami. I work in corporate America as a trainer and like coach for new hires at a call center. So
bravery.
It's fun. I like the training. I mean, I taught a couple of years actually back in Colombia. I was born in Colombia. I taught English and Italian, so I like the education side of like, the world, and I do that now for like adults. So it's fun. It's
Very cool. Very cool.
Cool.
All I remember is we did what? 2 truths and a lie or something.
Two truths and a lie.
I think everybody falsely picked the 4 languages one as the one that you were lying about, but you actually,
I do speak 4 languages, yes.
So what are the other 2? You said English and
Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese.
That's
very cool.
Wow. I feel so underdeveloped.
It's okay.
You 2 are amazing.
We have a very accomplished cast today, right?
Don't ask me what I've been up
to. Sometimes I don't feel that accomplished, but thank you.
So
thank you for
that. What's been going on with you?
Like so much, I've just been like saving whales and everything. The norm. Honestly, I haven't really been doing much. I'm still the same homebody that I've always been, just continuing to eat extra cheese pizza. And I've recently highly recommend everyone go to therapy and get medicated, because my apartment has never looked more spectacular.
Therapy's amazing.
I mean, when you cleanse your mind, you look at the world around you and you're just like, it's time to clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing. Mm-hmm. I bought a paper shredder.
Wow.
A paper shredder.
Adulting.
It's amazing.
I don't even have one.
It's amazing when that becomes like the highlight of our
of
like our month. We got a paper shredder. Well, that's when you're reached adulthood.
Honestly, I was so happy when it came in the mail. I was like, and I got like a cheap one too. It was only like $30, but I was like, oh my god, it can shred credit cards and CDs.
Wow!
For
$30, that's a great
hefty
shredder.
Yeah,
8 pieces of paper per shred. Like, I'm living it. Be jealous.
All right. Well, I mean, I think as far as I'm concerned, as far as any updates and stuff, I went to Vegas. Then we had a Night of 1,000 Beyonce's Halloween party, which was fun. You might, if you're looking at my social media, then you might have seen me as the Ring the Alarm Beyonce. So, you know, I'm very proud of myself for that outfit.
I have to look that up.
You look so good.
That's what has been going on. Of course, the Friendsgiving, and you know, just really looking forward to kind of boosting the podcast to the next level. We'll have more on that later on in the show, but why don't we jump into our topic for today, which is, what do you do when you're crushing on a straight guy? Now, we could also say, because I mean, you're not.
I'm a cis.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
So you can crush on straight guys and be fine, but maybe, you know, have you ever?
I've had many crushes on gay men.
Okay, so
I've
yeah,
had a
so
crush
like
on anyone that's been on the show.
Anytime you've had like a crush on somebody that you know, or that you at least have an inkling that may not necessarily be aligned, like maybe it's a college professor that you have a crush on. What do you do in that situation?
Go for it. Do it.
Maybe it's a guy at work, and you know how weird that can get if you decide to have like a office romance or something like that. The first question for all of us, like, have you ever crushed on somebody like that, and how did you handle it? I feel like I'm feeling some vibes over here on this section. I want to hear the story, if you don't mind.
No
please.
problem. Okay, now this is where it's a double-edged sword for me. Being a trans woman, if you are attracted to me, I don't look at you as gay. I look at you possibly could be bisexual, but you're sexual. If you're gay, you're just attracted to men. And if you're calling me a man, then you wait to God for me. I didn't come this far. I want you to address me and look at me because I was born male. So that's where the problem comes in at. But I did live like 3 years as a gay man. And for me, when I started seeing queer people on TV, sadly, it was like Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, not Maury Povich, Ricky Lake and Jenny Jones show. And it was that episode of Jenny Jones when it was like your crush. The same topic we are talking about right now. And like it was two Caucasian men. The race isn't an issue. I think they were in Connecticut. And I guess when the episode aired, it wasn't Connecticut?
Oh no, I'm saying like not Connecticut. That's like the worst place to be gay.
Once the episode had aired and people, I guess, would clown the straight guy.
Yeah.
He didn't handle it too well. And you went and shot.
I heard about that.
And that's how Connecticut got the panic law. New Jersey just got a panic law, and that's where I'm from. We just got a panic law, maybe before COVID.
Gay panic.
And
get out.
So in my mind, it was always look but don't touch. And then even when I've been at parties when I was a gay male, even now as a trans woman, when I'm at these parties and stuff with these guys, I tend to act like I'm not interested. You know, low key, my body, my breasts, my mind, everything is like, oh, I want you. I have to control myself because, one, I don't want you to be drunk, wake up in the morning, and then try to hurt me and say I took advantage of you. You know, you made all the initiation. And or I do know that there's so many out here. I wouldn't even say straight guys. I'm going to say so-called straight guys, because you'll be surprised at how many guys that's supposed to be straight that are on Grindr, Jacked,
I'm not surprised at all.
BGC, Adam. And these the same guys who would sit here and walk down the street and call one of us a slur or whatever it may be. So it's like, damn, what do you do?
Right.
I don't want to be a secret. I do want to sleep with you. I do want to see what the packaging look like out of your clothes. But let me just stay away. Let me just go fantasize about it.
Yeah.
So you're saying that like having a crush is almost sometimes like it feels dangerous for you?
Yeah. I had to, not just me, my friends. I only hang with gay men. Any females you see me with, you're my family or we're colleagues.
Okay.
Sadly.
Yeah.
And
I won't take offense.
Same talks with them. I hope that you got this friend at your apartment building or he at your job and now he wants to hang out with you. Be mindful. It could still be a setup.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly,
Wow.
even you being vulnerable, and I watched a lot of so-called heterosexual men prey on queer community.
Mm-hmm.
You know they like you. You know that they're lusting after you. Half the damn OnlyFans biggest accounts of men, their finances come from gay men.
Mm-hmm.
You will utilize the hell out of us to get what you need and beat the hell out of us in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's what I said it's a double-edged sword. Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
they're good to look at.
Look, I think you kind of like struck at the core of this question. It's like, you know, if you have a crush on a straight guy,
so cold.
it's like, are you cold? I'm so sorry.
Sometimes it's so cold.
Oh,
So cold.
Yeah. I thought you said so cold. I'm like, oh,
It is a bit
damn.
chilly in here.
Wear sweaters.
Yeah, no, but if you're like crushing on like a so-called straight guy, you have to weigh what the cost is going to be of pursuing that, and is it going to be a potentially like dangerous situation? Is it going to be something that's going to like mess up your peace for, you know, like Alejandro, like
in some ways your life too, like, you know,
yeah,
like the dangers of, you know, crushing on somebody and maybe making a move on somebody that you don't know may be dangerous to you and to any other, you know, gay man, trans woman, you know, trans men, that it's scary.
Yeah.
Now you did say something that if you're seeing with a woman is either a family member or not a friend. Why is that? I'm curious.
That's how my life has been set up. The men that I'm around, they were, most of my children's, my brothers and my grandsons, they were here before I became she. Once I had found myself, and once I understood that queer community was even here, I went to Christopher Street. I'm pretty sure by my age bracket, your first taste of queer life will be going to Christopher Street, Greenwich Village. And it was just a sense of community. But the people that I'm meeting on the train that's going back to Jersey, we all created this bond. And when I started my transition, these were my allies. When I'm having surgery, my family's not my protectors. They are. They're the ones, look here, if you're trying to be Jennifer, I need you to go back in that house. Come out, done, bitch. They gonna judge you regardless. We got you. So these were my support system, and every time I've deviated out of that, other gay men, trans women, females, it's always an issue. But another issue that I do have is that I don't feel the need to be in competition. I didn't really deal with that as a gay male. My core was my core. If you like one of us, that's fine. Bitch, as long as we know we got the best looking group in the club. It's not so much that I thought I had sisterhood in spaces, cis or trans, and it was, oh, you know that's a man, or it's, you know that's padding. This is like in my early days. And I didn't understand it.
So
I don't want to be in competition. What happened to sisterhood? Sisterhood not supposed to be competition.
Okay, so you kind of found that like hanging out with cis women, like let's say that you both kind of are crushing on the same guy.
It's not even us crushing. I went to a club, for example, and a bottle of Moet came to the table. It's 4 women, and 4 women, including myself. And a bottle of Moet came to the table. It only came with 1 glass. And one woman thought it was about her. It wasn't. It was for me, so I sent it back. When he showed me the guy, he was very urban, which turned me on extremely. It's one of those moments. But I know I'm in a straight club. And I don't need no shit. I'm good.
Right.
And when they discovered that the bottle was for me, comments were made, the fuck, he gay? And I'm like, ooh.
Oh man,
that is awful.
I don't want to deal with that. I want to be. If it was vice versa, I want to be like, bitch, you better go get that money, bitch.
Right.
I know. No, that's what I was saying. I was like, why would you send it back?
It's like, you know, you make
like,
a
I
good
get
point.
why you sent it back.
Yeah.
I don't want to compete friendships is supposed to be. I'm grown, so my friendships are my chosen family, and if that doesn't take away from my blood family, I'm supposed to protect you whether you're with me, in front of me, or behind me. We are one at all times, especially in this lifestyle. Well, in this, not like I want to say lifestyle, like it's a damn outfit. In this life that we live, it's so many of us who are taken from this ground. Because of what others feel, what others think. So we're supposed to be our biggest protection. And in my mind, especially when it comes to other trans women, I'm not supposed to be competition. I'm not supposed to feel that you are the enemy. I should be able to call you, especially if you transition before me. I'm supposed to be able to call you to say, hold up, my body's doing X, Y, Z. Yeah, the doctor, the therapist could talk to me, but don't you think it's a big difference for me talking to another woman who's been through the journey of HRT?
Yeah. But
I can't even do that. Every doctor I've used, whether you cis or trans, you ask me, well, who did your breast? Oh, I don't get no plugs.
Yo, your doctor's probably watching this like, no, plug me.
I have no problem. Let me send you his information. Oh, you do that? I love the work he did on me. Why would I not share? What am I keeping that a secret for?
That's such an interesting way to put it. Like, it's like I wouldn't even have thought about that. It's just like having a crush is also like addressing the competition that comes with it.
It was like an envy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think like, I don't know, just like what your experience is, you like, there's a similarity. Like I get where you're coming from, where it's like, you should be in community with people. But at the same time, it's like there's all this competition. And I feel like...
And I want to clarify something. I don't just not hang with women and trans women. I don't hang with a lot of gay people, period.
Okay.
My core is my core.
I got you.
It hasn't been broken since I came out at 19.
Your people's are your people's. Okay? Sometimes you don't want to open the space.
One or two additives have come on. Like 10 years after, but they still have been here like 20-something years. And I'm comfortable. Our families know each other. I go with your families. I am family. You're with my family. You are family. You'll be protected as if you were me and vice versa. And guess what? Every time I've added some extras to it,
it's always been
been stabbed in the back. Slept with my man and all this other kind of stuff. And, and
it's
put
like
it on
sometimes
social
you just
media,
gotta keep your, and that's, we talk about find your circle. You found your circle, and you stick with it. So
honestly, so when you said that about like how when a man would show you more interest in the women that you were with, like I know that happens with straight women too. Not to like compare, but it's like they automatically become pick-me girls. They're just like and a pick-me girl is when you choose to put another woman down for a man to pick you instead. That's how I define a pick-me girl. It's not it's not because you like sports or something like that. That's just that's too narrow. It's when you put down other women to have them pick you.
Yeah.
So like sometimes when a guy would like come up to me, and these obviously I'm not with these friends anymore, but they would be like the guy would come up to me and talk to me, and then my friends who are more or less prettier than me would get kind of not prettier. It's just they tend to get more guys.
I'm not gonna
me.
let you say. I'm not
Sorry.
gonna play with that one.
But they'll just be like, like they'll just say like, Renee, she's forever single. Like she can't find anyone. Glad that you picked her, kind of thing, and like making me seem like a crazy person. And then for a woman to like go to a steeper level and be like, like she was born with a penis. Oh my God. I would have laid her out. That's when you grab a shoe.
So I can't do all that no more.
I told you, no, I will forever stand by this. If don't punch them, you get a shoe. Okay?
Just throw a shoe.
No, because I feel like that's a lower charge. Grab a shoe, not your fist.
But I've seen it with gay men as well. I had a friend who, when you realize that our other friend, they're both gay men, and I guess you liked this guy. I don't think this guy even knew that you liked him, but when you approached him, he made it very clear, oh, you're not my cup of tea, but I'm all about him. I'm trying to get to him for the longest. You decided to come over here and just blurt out, you blurted out this man's status. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
This is what we doing now?
And it's like, you didn't even like him before this. Like, you were like eyeing him from across
You do
the
know,
dance floor.
and you went and did all this. You do know that he got a whole lover, and he not thinking about this man. So what was the purpose of you out in that man's status?
Oh my god.
Sadly, in 2022, people are still sitting here outing people for their health statuses. Crazy.
Oh god. That's crazy. So have you ever had like a crush on like a straight man, but you felt like you really couldn't like approach them, or have you had like a way to like create
sure
that
you
gentle
have.
approach?
We've all done it
all
at some
crushed
point.
on-
I don't know. I'm here.
No, I'm not. No, that was not
You
Justin.
said I'm here for the
I'm just
comments?
telling him.
No,
I'm just like,
we definitely. I mean, I've definitely had crushes where I know they may have a girlfriend or they're straight, like to society. But I think for me is never like a crush where like, oh, I'm in love with this person, or I really want to date him. I think it's more of like, damn, I want to suck that dick. Or damn, I want to see. I want to see him naked. Like I want to see those cheeks. Like it's
the level of attraction you have to feel to like look dead at a man and be like, that is a dick I want to suck. That's.
I mean, I think for cis women is a little different. Like for gay men.
Oh no, it's not. Trust me. I've looked at a man and been like,
I'll be sitting here.
yes,
I'm like, bitch,
on my knees in a
ass,
second.
bitch, I'm gonna eat that boy ass. How I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try.
Exactly. That's how I feel.
Fine.
And when I think that that's his hairy, it's just like, whoa, like.
Oh no, not hairy butts.
Hairy butts are cute. And maybe this is getting too raunchy, but no, yeah, I mean, just like I can think of like when I used to do CrossFit like before the pandemic, and of course there was hot men at a CrossFit gym. Like you imagine them taking their shirts off, like sweating.
Look, that's
like
my whole
muscles,
motivation of going to the gym now.
Like and they're like doing like lifting the weights.
The
and
gyms that you're going to, because like I only have like old people at mine.
Oh no!
The
CrossFit gyms. The CrossFit gyms are full of sexy men.
I remember you said you don't like guys coming like talking
that
to you in the
is true.
gym.
That is true. I don't.
I might
It
need
does
you to,
give
like,
me the ick.
You might need to take out an AirPod, like an AirPod. Just take one out, just in case.
But I think like a regular gym, like say like one that you just go and do your own thing. I think it's very different from like a class based gym where you just like and there's small classes. You kind of it becomes like a friendship, like a family. Like everybody talks to each other, and that's why I think I lasted going so much to these gyms or to that gym. But yeah, there was like a guy that I definitely crushed on, and like me and my other like fellow homos were like just like damn like the bulge is fucking packing. Like I wish we could see them naked. And so it's like that type of crush.
Right. So what about like when you're crushing on somebody and they're giving you like some kind of vibes, but you don't really know what the deal is with them?
Flirt and let them take it to where they want to take it,
Okay.
because they know at least I've never hidden my sexuality. Like I've never like, if somebody asked me even when I was in high school, like, yeah, I would say, yeah, I'm gay. And that's what it is. So I never had any issues, thankfully. But if they want to push it further, that's on them.
Okay.
Like I can think of someone that pushed it further, and at first it was just like kind of online talking and like flirting and like like even videos, and he would send like pictures, and then finally when we were in the same city, and he was like, hey. Or what's up? Are you around? And then we got together, and
that was that.
And it happened. And
that's how people fall in love, guys.
Well, he's coming to see me in a few weeks.
Really?
Which is, but I don't think it's anything like. He's a handsome man, but obviously he's.
But you don't think it's gonna go like anywhere, like
nowhere. I don't think personally it's gonna go anywhere more than just sex.
Right. Right.
And like showing
as long
around
as it's
the city.
good.
Huh?
Exactly. As long as it's good, tap the prostate, bitch.
It was good. It was good.
Hello.
I actually, as a straight woman, I need to learn to not do that automatically.
Do what?
A little prostate trick, because only because
Wait, what are you talking about?
Never.
Like your finger?
Yeah.
Oh.
I need to stop doing that.
Why you don't like that?
No.
Are you doing
like,
it to
Not
test, or
all
you
men
doing it
like
because you
that.
turn it
I
on?
You
mean, like,
scare them
it's-
away?
I mean, it's not that. It's just that like you're supposed to ask for consent, and then I kind of you gotta ask for
Okay.
consent.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, I've never asked.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
usually have like a dildo on the side of the bed and stuff like that, or a beer bottle or a cooler bottle to get the nozzle going. And if I'm gonna suck your dick, bitch, and you gap your leg open, bitch, not on the 10 time, I'm either gonna force
What
my
is the beer
nail
bottle
in there,
for?
I mean,
put it in you. If you would dog me the hell out and treat me like a smut, bitch, why can't I treat you like one too?
So I've
I
never
could be a
gone
bottom
that
and
far.
still be the aggressor.
I've never gone that far with a little prostate loving.
You'd be surprised what guys like.
Okay.
You,
Especially the
you may
Surprise.
be surprised, but it's still important to ask.
I think though what she's saying, what Jennifer's saying, in the like you're giving them head and they're like okay, lick the balls,
Trying to make
and
me go back to
then
the
they
Gucci
kind of
ass.
like lift up a little bit, and you just like kind of go down there, and
In my mind,
if
that's
they're not
consent.
saying no, they're saying yes.
I
And then you start
You chose to be
massaging.
like to slide me
You
back there.
still
So let
have
me.
to ask.
Well, okay, so here's the thing, because you're dealing with
straight
straight
men.
men. So that's a little bit different.
It is definitely different because, like, I just like all the men that I've been friends with. They're just like, yeah, I like a nice prostate check, but like that's not all men. So I need to be careful.
So have you had any issues?
No, I haven't, but I've been just like thinking about it
Okay.
and trying to be a better person.
Well, I think my friend would definitely agree with you. He would be like, you have to ask, which
Yes.
yes, you have to
You
ask.
have to ask.
Especially if you don't know this person and you're like, maybe a second date and you guys are like getting it on and you like
Just,
that could be like jarring for someone. Like what I wasn't
especially
expecting that.
if they never had it done. So yeah, I gotta be more careful. Be
Okay.
careful out there, ladies.
What I suggest that you do
Okay.
is you go get you a healthy strap on and make sure you sit it present where like right near the bed.
So
Make sure the
no.
harness and everything is present so when you walk in, they see it. And you may be surprised. Some people go like, oh, that's for me. Are you prepared for that though?
I like to do just a little love tap with prostate care. I'm not a pegging type of gal.
Have you tried it?
I don't want to.
Okay.
You know what? A lot of girls nowadays, they're actually super into it and like go off, but no.
We're trying.
Not for you.
Yeah.
Not for me. Maybe I would try it if I was like, with a guy for a very, very long time and we want to spice things up. Like initial, no. I'm gonna.
Not even out of town on vacation?
No.
I have a group chat, friends that I actually met at the gym, and we have this group chat called Throat Goats, which is like we think it's hilarious.
What is that?
So it's like,
Oh, the throat goat.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't hear the throat part.
and they know who they are, but we are trying to have her friend peg her, her boyfriend, and she's all into it. She's interested, but of course, I don't think it's gotten there. But yeah, we talk about everything. It's amazing.
Well, look, I did not expect this
Okay.
topic to go this way.
I had a
But
point
this is
about
fine,
consent. I had a point about consent that I was gonna kind of bring it back to, and how I kind of to the point of gay men having or transgender women, a part of the LGBTQ community, having a crush on a straight man.
Mhm.
And how sometimes if they're very toxic masculinity, it's almost like they have to give you consent to even have a crush on them. That's kind of how I was gonna bring it back, but then we went in there
Well, I think
in many different ways.
in many different ways.
I think when you said that, Jennifer and I were saying that I think a lot of those men are the ones that are not sure of their sexuality,
Oh, for
and
sure.
they feel very concerned that, well, this man likes me. What's gonna happen? Maybe I will
open
fall.
that window that they
Maybe
didn't
I will
open.
fall into that trap and fucking start,
The trap.
Mhm.
doing things with men, and that scares them, and that's when they become like violent
Yeah.
and and toxic and
Yeah.
That's
and
self-hate.
so yeah, it definitely happens. But I actually could think of one time I was this is when I moved back to Columbia before I moved to Philly, and I spent a year there, and that's when I was like teaching like school kids. One day I was like coming from somewhere, and I got off at my I think I was on the train, and then just walking back home, I was with my boyfriend at the time, and there was this like seemingly straight man, like, you know, sitting on a stoop or something. And I kind of like looked at him as I was walking by, because he was sitting like on the steps with like his legs open. I was like, oh, he's kind of handsome. And I just looked and kept walking. Yeah. And so then I kind of like looked back, because he said something, like he made like a noise or something, and he was like what you looking at? So I felt like, oh, this guy is upset. So I wasn't gonna show that I was like scared, and I was like, yeah, I'm just looking. You're literally sitting on the stoop. I'm looking. And so he came up to me, and my boyfriend got a little scared, and then he was like, after seconds, this man was disarmed, and he was like, so what's up? Where are we going?
Oh, wow.
It's so frightening.
And I was like, what the hell just happened? This man I thought just wanted to beat me up. Now he wants some of this.
And I think a lot of times they're surveying the land over here. I told some friends back in the day, they had crushes on these so-called straight young men. Right. Everybody's all in the same age bracket. And I had told them, they're very comfortable with you. I'm not telling you how to test the waters, but I personally feel that if you take a creature out of its natural habitat, then you can truly see what that creature is willing to do.
That's actually super true.
And so I had suggested that you can bring them to my house.
Okay.
And we can have some splays, I'll cook and everything else. And these two straight guys, they were whole different from when I met them in their city. Once they was over here when nobody knew them, they whipped out dicks, and I've been thinking about this. Oh,
wow.
Okay. Listen, I've had somebody like that. Yeah,
but they knew nobody here.
Yeah.
And they were in my house, and I park in the back of the house, so nobody even seen you where traffic is. Nobody even could drive past and see you. So, you were really comfortable here.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's also like super scary, dude.
But then it's like I have a lot of people who cross paths with me, and they'll be like, I want to see you. I said, oh, is that so? Yeah, let me come to your back door. Fuck no. You want to come in? You come in that front way.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not gonna help you be sneaky.
I hope this isn't like too bold of a question, but when you meet with a new man that you like haven't met with before, it's like a first date, a first hookup, what are the precautions that you have to take as a transgender woman? Because there definitely are some dangers with it. I don't know if this is a bad question to
It's a perfect question. Typically I never disclose that I'm trans.
Okay.
But I also don't put myself in a situation for nobody to have an attitude.
Exactly. Okay.
Only attitude that you can actually have with me is that you hit on me. And I didn't stop you. I told you that I was, I have another half. Thank you. And so that should be your cue then, whether cis or trans.
Okay.
Or I move. That don't fucking mean move behind me or keep preceding me.
Right.
And I've even been disrespected, still not knowing that I'm trans.
Yeah.
You fucking bird, whack ass bitch. Because I'm telling you, I'm not interested. Bitch, I'm doing you a favor. Unless you with it. Right. And even that story about the wine, about the Moet, I got up and went to the bathroom at some point in time in the club. And when I came out the bathroom, he was right in the doorway. And he made it very clear to me, you ain't have to send my shit back. I know what time it is.
Men are so terrifying.
And I'm like, oh.
So what precautions do you take?
But I did make a big mistake.
Okay.
This Thanksgiving weekend.
No.
I had lightly dusted myself, very casual, and I went to a bar. And I've been to this bar a few times when I go to this state. And I never knew. I think people keep going back there. I've never been back there. And it was 1 minute one guy was talking to me, next minute another guy was talking to me. I know that my card never came out my pocketbook or out my phone case. I know I never paid for nothing. And everybody was just making sure that I had everything that I need, staff and all guys. And I remember going in the back, which is the club part,
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up walking a block and a half over through the back way. It's like an open lot. And then I see him pull out keys and he opened one of the guys, the most persistent guy who turned me on. I'm so fucked up and there's no excuse. Mm-hmm. He opened this and this was like an apartment. It was a very guy's apartment.
Okay.
Blue sheets, one pillow.
Dirty socks. Boxes that
we all know that apartment.
Type thing. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be here. He started kissing on me. Wait a minute, I gotta go. So, and I remember getting in the Uber. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, he got in the Uber with me.
Oh no.
I know I made it back to where I was staying.
Yeah.
I woke up completely ass naked. But my money, my wallet, and everything is there. And all that came to my mind is he didn't hurt me.
Oh my goodness.
Because he was seen with me, not just in person, but he. It's a trail of you running behind me, and I never got a chance to. This is one of these moments. Nobody spiked no drinking on like that, and I'm not blaming it on alcohol. That was something I should have never done. I don't know what I was thinking. It's been fucking with my head for the past few days. Today we're technically making a week. Waking up Saturday morning, making a week.
So just for, I guess, my clarity, maybe for the viewers' clarity, you're saying that basically you were assaulted. No.
I put myself in a dangerous situation because I allowed myself being out by myself in an all straight setting.
Okay. So
and
that's kind of how I picked
my
up
tea,
on it.
Okay.
And I let some guy guide me somewhere where I don't even know where I'm going.
Got you.
And that could have ended like
that's
really
when panic
scary.
set into me. What the fuck are you doing? One, even whether he knew I was trans or not, I don't know where the fuck. I don't live here. I know we didn't have a conversation.
Oh my goodness.
At least that I know of. I can't remember the man's name.
Gotcha.
That is so.
I know what he looks like, and I started to remember the pieces of the night when I went on my social media.
I feel like people just don't understand that.
I mean,
as a transgender woman, the layers of danger that's added on to nights like that, like you can't even have a regular one night stand half the time because it's, oh my God.
I think what turned me on was he was so aggressive, even in public. Oh, don't talk to her. She belonged to me. And I was like, oh.
That would turn me off so quickly. We have very different.
Like,
I think we should hang out more because we have completely different tastes in men. I would be so angry. Be like,
I think my body wanted to be roughed up, not raped. I think my body wanted a little. I haven't been around an aggressive man in a minute. Everybody has been more.
I get the appeal.
Softer pink side. And he was very black and hard and so extra chocolatey. He was like, I'm a tall bitch. He was taller than me, and I was like, oh. It was one of those moments.
All right, so I have to cut in here because just really quick, if you are interested in seeing more of the BoyFriends podcast, I'm currently taking donations. I'm trying to build this up a little bit more. So please, throw in whatever you can. My Cash App and my Venmo will be in the description below at Jarrod D King. So either that's like the $ Jarrod D King or Venmo at Jarrod D King.
Spell it.
JarrodDking. Thank you. So I do want to ask, is there because I feel like a lot of times when we are interested in these guys that we probably sometimes should not be interested in, or maybe, we know that it's nothing good is going to come of maybe pursuing some of these interests that we have.
Yeah.
Is there a moment that we grow past that? Is that kind of like a younger thing? Because here's the thing. I kind of got this question from looking online. I'm on like a Reddit group, and my phone pings every morning, and it's just some younger guy is crushing on some friend that they don't know what it is. I'm just like, y'all need to start crushing on gay men as opposed to men who were you don't know what's going on with that. You know what I'm saying?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Despite that one little moment, I think that I don't know how to describe it without offending anybody. upon me traveling and putting myself in more gay settings that's not in my city or state, I've found an amazing amount of beautiful men that are all queer community from back there, from over there, from left to right. And I'm like, where the fuck y'all been all this time? I go to Atlanta often. And these are some beautiful men. And when I'm seeing you on social media,
but I want
and then when I'm getting to meet you in person.
I've been hearing about these beautiful men in the gay clubs in Atlanta.
I've never been either.
I want to take a makeup wipe and wipe your face, and I'm like, ooh, so now you take your touch by like that. Oh, that really is good. I'm moist. And I'm like, where has this been? Some are on the more feminine side, some are on the very masculine side, but everybody is just queer. And then some of them are,
and that's the thing. It's like we have to acknowledge that those options are there. We don't always have to.
We didn't see them before.
Yeah.
But they are very here.
Oh my goodness. There. Like James Charles, who is like always, he's just like, I'm only attracted to straight men. Like, that's problematic.
James Charles is very problematic.
Is that the
makeup man? Yeah, that's the makeup person.
I mean, like the city?
I believe so. I think we've said multiple times that we're based in Philly, right?
Yeah, we're based in Philly.
Well, you guys have some beautiful ass men here in Philly. Maybe I don't live here, but baby,
I mean,
Philadelphia does have some.
Philly does have some very beautiful black men.
We do.
They do.
We do.
So what I was gonna say is, I think that yes, you guys bring up a super great point. You should try to approach men that you know are gay, but you can't help who you like, and you shouldn't have to be placed behind bounds of, well, what if they're straight? Like, if they are straight and you know they're straight and they definitely say that they're straight and they don't want to be gay, I don't think it's good to pursue. That's kind of very, very odd. I mean, like, yeah, I joke with Jarrod all the time about how, like, we're going to get married and I love him and like girl crush, but I don't like, I'm never like, so when is this happening? when are we gonna do this? No, that's awful. But I think if you are unsure, a great way to kind of go about it is just, be friends with maybe one of their friends, and then just ask them. And it might
I don't know, because I feel like that's still,
just ask
then
them
their
directly.
friend's gonna
Just flirt with them. Like, if you're interested,
but you might be like scared too.
Personally, I just would not even deal. And I feel like you kind of hit on this a little bit earlier about just kind of like standing in your truth and like, this is who I am, and what I'm about. And so if you want to come this way, okay. But I'm not going to spend all my time figuring out what's going on.
I know. Yeah, so that's why you could ask their friend. And then that way you're not wasting your...
Their friend may not know either.
Oh, that's true.
They may not know, or their friend will go back and start telling them. And then they start acting different.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The best thing to do is just
be a friend too. Like, just be...
Know yourself and befriend the person, but be able to understand and accept the fact that this may go nothing. This may go no further than friendship. I've had guys who are just that, and then I've had some when alcohol kicks in, want to try things. No, not with me. But I respect them now. One or two have crossed over completely. Some have not. Some only tried drunk gang or gay for pay type situations. But but for me, I don't create a friendship with you, and I look at you like a friend, so you're like a family to me. So no, I can't. At this point in time, the crush done turned from actual genuine feelings of with no lust.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So I guess what I'd like to do is just kind of like get little quick tips for anybody kind of like maybe crushing on a straight guy or crushing on a friend and not really knowing what the deal is, or working through trying to figure out whether they should push it a little bit to see where things go. Like, what would be like maybe your one tip to that person, or what your one piece of advice?
Start with me?
Yeah, let's start with
you. Be sure of self. You can't even begin to pursue anyone, gay or straight, if you don't know yourself. You you know yourself and you know what you're looking for and you know what you want and you'll be able to handle whatever comes your way and understand if a person is straight, you're possibly going to have some rejection, possibly maybe a black eye. Hopefully not.
Right.
Be prepared and do everything tastefully. You know how you want to be treated, treat others the way you want to be treated. So.
Exactly. Alejandro, would you like to
I think that was exactly what I was going to say. At least start with like be yourself and be genuine. And if you want to flirt and let them take it to the next level. And if you're really not sure, then you could always be open and just really, as long as you're honest with your feelings and hey, I like you, or hey, I think that either works out or doesn't. Sometimes they'll be like, oh, I feel the same way. Or sometimes they'll be like, you know what? I'm not interested. Let's be friends. That's it. Like, I think if you get it too much into your head, it just, may drive you a little crazy.
Okay. Renee, would you have anything to add?
I don't know, because I feel like I would give bad advice to the gays.
What is the bad advice?
Give advice to the girls then. Like if a girl is crushing on a gay guy, maybe a guy that they think
honestly,
might be like a little.
How would you want
I have a little sugar in a tank.
How would you want a gay woman to approach you?
I think that sometimes, if you have a crush, whether it be like on a gay man, a straight man, a gay woman, even and you're not gay, but you have a crush on them, I feel like sometimes crushes can just be like intense feelings of wanting to be close to that person. You could just be picking up on their vibe, because there have been a handful of times where I've had the biggest crush on a guy, and then as soon as I figure out that he likes me too, I'm like, oh.
Wait, what?
And I'm like, me.
Can we unpack that, please?
It's I mean, like, yeah, I think it takes some part of that fantasy away. And I'm a very fantasy kind of thinker. Like, I'm a writer. Like, my imagination goes wild a lot. I think sometimes having a crush can just be a general attraction to that person, whether it be romantic or anything. Like, obviously, a lot of times it's going to be romantic, and so we can confuse it for that sometimes. But honestly, you just might be attracted to that person like as a friendship. So just go into it.
I think that like goes into know thyself. Like what you guys were saying. It's just like know where your feelings are coming from before you start pushing them on somebody else, because then if it's that kind of a situation where they start liking you back, and then it's just like
and so that's a different situation. Maybe don't kind of go up to them and be like, I have a crush on you. I did do that once, and it went very well for me.
You said it went very well.
It actually did go. It kind of went well, because when you tell someone you have a crush on them, they're just like, stop it, me. That's like the biggest compliment. You're like, you crushing me? Stop.
This day and age, especially being in more comfortable spaces, like I said, it's an amazing amount of gay, bi, and openly gay, openly bi, openly. Is it polyamorous?
Pansexual.
Yes. Sorry.
Polyamorous is when you have when you date a bunch of people at the same time.
Especially in certain locations, I would be like, you are a gorgeous man.
Mm-hmm. What are these locations?
I know, like, where are they going?
Atlanta and Philly, huh?
Yes. Y'all have some amazing. I have met a guy here. He's not my type. But talking with this man, he's not into me either. But talking with him, and you just, if you ever want to try one of the girls like me, please let me know, because you are a husband.
Now, if I could go back to this, you said earlier you don't usually disclose at first that you're trans. So when do you do that? If we have time for this,
for the people who are extremely persistent, that's my goal. Like, if I'm telling you I'm in a relationship or I'm not interested, and you still are very persistent, and now I move and you still trying to get to me. Typically by myself, I guess when I had like a drink, I don't know what happened the other day. It's let me get to a safer situation over here where nobody's around, because I do know that a lot of times, a lot of people, period, react and show their asses when you got an audience. And it's trying to get to these places where let me just get away. If it's going to appease you, let me give you my backup number. And then once I'm safely in the Uber, you texted me immediately. You do know I'm trans, right? But I know for anybody who was sitting here in this area who saw you and me near each other, you seen I was visibly pushing you away. And God knows that you possibly were I was attracted to you, but what I also knew was that I wasn't in that setting. And just because I'm even when I'm in that setting, everything is not for everybody. That's why I was mad at myself for the actions.
So does it depend on the setting?
I guess the setting, because there are some so-called straight guys who are very comfortable within their own sexuality who come to so-called gay functions in support of family members and close friends, college roommates, fraternity brothers, now sisters, or whatever may have you, and still doesn't mean that anybody has the right to make a person uncomfortable. Like I said, but there's no reason to not hold the compliment. I've sat here with people, especially once COVID happened. There was a whole set of men I didn't even know that. Once the mask came off, probably still ugly. With the mask on, focusing solely on here, I'm like, oh, you have some beautiful eyes. They're not colored, but they speak like little does.
Damn, and they take that mask down, you're like,
thank you. I'm hearing them, I'm like, oh, and you got that voice off. You can make me voice. Let me go in the house. Stuff like that. Let me do it. Let me tastefully and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I think my piece of advice for this conversation, I mean, because normally I will give like my little like one-liner, and this would technically be a stand back and get what you get and step up and get what you want type of moment. But at the same time, you can't necessarily step up and get what you want in this situation. Like, you have to know that the person that you're stepping up to...
You can get the knowledge you want.
Yeah, but you have to be very careful about how you go about getting that knowledge as well. But you have to make sure that the other person is like actually about that life, or is about you, or is about, is actually interested before you put yourself in a situation that could potentially turn sour or go south. Yeah, so you have to kind of like weigh the cost. So if you're interested in somebody if you're interested in a straight guy, if you're interested in somebody who you're not really sure where they're coming from, just let them make the moves and see, or turn your attention elsewhere. It's actually a little bit easier and better that way. But yeah, that's what I would say. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching this episode and for joining us on the BoyFriends podcast. Please give us a subscribe, give us a like, give us some comments. We would love to talk with you more about this topic. So remember, if you have no one else, you got us.